Cleveland Browns set themselves up for a Super Bowl defense, and they are playing like one.
Yes.
When healthy.
Yes.
With or without Chubb, if Deshaun Watson regains his form, they are a Super Bowl contender, hands down.
They can contend for the division.
With or without Chubb. No, I'm not even saying division. I'm saying Super Bowl.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BTR podcast.
Before we get started, like, comment, and subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to 200, so we'll try to hit it by the end of this month.
Almost 10 days at the time of this recording. So it's gonna be tight, but we believe. So let's get this going. Audio listeners, make sure if you guys prefer it that way, pick whatever platform you guys listen to, and then download it, and then make sure you give it 5 stars if you enjoy it. Especially, it will help us in the ratings on Spotify, etc. Finally, follow our social media: Instagram, get us to a 200; TikTok, get us to 100; Twitter, get us to even 50.
Yeah, that's right.
YouTube, like we mentioned, we post almost daily TikTok reels, shorts, whatever you name. We have it up there. Check out our power rankings. NFL, we do weekly power rankings on the Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
That's not going to change until the end of the NFL season.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll do more power rankings if you guys enjoy those. So far, it's been up and down. I think the Tuesday ones have been good. The Wednesday ones, they're probably like, they probably look like the same people. So they probably seen like a video before.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, make sure you guys help us. Hit the subscribe button, follow everything. Without a further ado, let's get right into it. As always, what's nothing? NFL.
You ready?
Yeah. Off the bat, let's get right into Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Recap.
It was Monday Night Football games. 2 of them.
2, yeah. I forgot there's 2.
All right, we'll start off with the earlier
Before we go into that, is Monday Night Football cursed?
All right, okay. Well, why?
Did you see the...
all the injuries are on Monday Night Football?
Yeah. So, obviously, we're going to allude to Nick Chubb in a bit here. But last week was Aaron Rodgers. I think last year it was a DeMar Hamlin situation. It was Monday Night Football. The Kyler Murray injury was Monday Night Football. So
it might be.
It's been 4 weeks in a row, I believe. 4 weeks Monday Night Football wise in a row.
Yeah. But yeah, Steelers, Browns. I was gonna start off with Saints, Panthers, but that was earlier. But we'll start off with Steelers, Browns.
I think that's the bigger story.
And Steelers edged out a defensive performance game.
Now, if you look at the score, you would think, oh yeah, offensive touchdowns, blah blah blah.
It was a defensive touchdowns.
It was defensive. Started off with a pick 6 by Highsmith, right?
Yeah.
And then to close it out, it was a Highsmith fumble, and then a TJ Watt recovery
for a touchdown
to win it.
But the biggest story out of that game was Nick Chubb. His season is over. Yeah,
and it was the same leg where he damaged it completely, tore everything essentially. I didn't really get to see the play. I didn't feel like watching an injury play. Nick Chubb was my old boy, I believe, at the beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken, or at least one of my candidates. And obviously out for the year. And in replacement, no one could replace Nick Chubb, but they brought back a familiar face in Kareem Hunt. This just literally today, as the time of this recording, in the morning or last night, one or the other, for 1 year, $4 million. Makes sense. Knows the system. He'll get more touches, even though Ford had a decent game. But, the big question is Nick Chubb's team, mainly Deshaun Watson obviously struggling right now, which we'll get into the offensive for both sides. Not
both sides, yeah.
But speaking of Nick Chubb, speaking of injuries, Saquon also injured. I'm bringing the theme here of running backs now again. How do you think running backs are feeling right now? Because they're trying to fight for their money.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault, but these injuries are proving why they shouldn't be. And, Saquon was on a 1-year contract.
But another thing is with the running backs is their value. One is because of injuries, but other is how replaceable they are.
Yeah.
Is Nick Chubb going to be replaceable?
Okay, so the replaceable is tough. I think that's a different story. I don't think Nick Chubb's replaceable. I don't care what anybody says. We're clearly seeing it from Jonathan Taylor. As good as Zach Moss did, because week 1, we had no Zach Moss either. Deion Jackson might get sacked, and we might get Trey Sermon, former Ohio State running back, I believe.
Former Niner.
Yeah, former Niner as well. But I remember him more from Ohio State.
Yeah.
But like you said, they are replaceable. But to your point, Isaiah Pacheco won the Super Bowl, not Nick Chubb, right?
Yeah, but
look at the
offense.
If you're talking about the player itself, No.
Nick Chubb is not.
No.
I'm telling you right now.
Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Chubb, these guys are not replaceable.
Saquon Barkley is going to be missed on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor is missed for Indy right now.
Yeah.
Where it's also taking effect on Anthony Richardson a little bit.
Yeah.
And who is it? Who are the other ones?
Well, Josh Jacobs just sucks right now.
Josh Jacobs sucks because I have him on fantasy. I think that's probably the curse.
Well, like the top one, like Christian McCaffrey's healthy, but when we've seen him not healthy, he was look what happened. Sam Darnold was undefeated, 3-0.
Panthers were cooked.
The minute he got injured, Sam Darnold fell off the cliff.
Right? Niners, they were struggling last year. Got Christian McCaffrey, absolutely took off.
So there is value with the running back. Now Christian McCaffrey is a different story. That's what Saquon should be as well. The pass catching ability, which is what we'll see with Bijan.
But like what I'm trying to say is like injuries. You're right? That's why they don't get paid. But the people also put a replaceable factor in, right? That they could do this with a 7th round pick.
I think that's overused.
That's
I think people are using the example of Isaiah Pacheco, but the difference between
you have Mahomes.
Exactly.
You're gonna use Mahomes more.
Yeah.
Right. The focus is on Mahomes.
And even like if you have a running quarterback, look at Anthony Richardson literally right now. Look at Lamar Jackson in the previous couple of years. Look at Kyler Murray, right? Justin Fields hasn't been at that level, but Jalen Hurts thankfully was healthy, but he did miss a few games last year.
Yeah, he did.
Right? So even running it affects everybody. You have running quarterbacks, it's gonna be the same thing. If anything, it's worse because they're throwing a ball, so your muscle shit could happen when you're throwing
Lamar's
the ball.
been injured. RG3, perfect example. Cam Newton, as well. So I mean, it's Nick Chubb. I think there's just a select guys you just can't replace.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's up there. Aaron Jones, the Packers lost without him.
That one's like.
But they also have AJ Dillon, so they have a tandem there. So that's not as much.
I don't think Aaron Jones is that tier one.
But I'm saying they lost without him. That's true.
Let's look at the Saints, for example. Sticking on the running back conversation quickly here.
Yeah, their offense doesn't look great.
Yeah, right. Like, I guess we're gonna go to the Saints in a second here, but I'm just finishing the running backs thing off. Yeah, it does not help their value that they get injured a lot. That's the main thing. Because at the end of the day, look at Todd Gurley. The Rams won the Super Bowl without him. Yes, Matt Stafford was there, but Matt Stafford isn't like a mobile guy as like Mahomes is, right? Burrow kind of is. I still think you need a decent run game. Now, guys like Isaiah Pacheco could do it. He's proven that he could do play. It just sucks that we haven't seen since Marshawn Lynch, we haven't seen an elite running back win the Super Bowl or even reach close to it.
Yeah, I guess.
I honestly count Devontae Freeman from Atlanta or something like that. But yeah, I think the running back value definitely hurts even more. Even though, for example, very quickly, Jonathan Taylor proved that he needs the money because the Colts sucked. Now Zach Moss kind of helped deplete that a little bit. But now you look at the injury, and he's injured himself. It's like, okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll close that there, but we'll get into the game.
Back to the game.
Steelers have an elite defense, but what is up with their offense?
Yeah, it's like, how much is it Matt Canada? And I hate to say like how much is Matt Canada because the word Canada, I know he's American, but I'm just saying, how much is it Matt Canada? How much is it Kenny Pickett? Obviously, it's a bit of both, but if you were to pick one, it's probably Matt Canada, right?
It's like, I mean, Matt Canada. Well, look, realistically, span it back to like a couple of years ago, even Ben Roethlisberger's last year. I remember the year they went also 11-0 and they shot the bed after that as well. Let's go from there. I think that was like 3-4 years.
That was Claypool's rookie year, I remember.
Yeah, Claypool's rookie year. It hasn't been great since.
No,
it has not. Because I remember that offense was like, I think the passing game was a run game. It was short passes, everything. Ever since once they lost their first game, I remember that when they lost to Washington football team, no name team.
You remember that clearly.
Yeah, but like ever since then, everyone defended them. Just play deep
because they didn't have a run game.
Yeah, they didn't have a run game.
Yeah,
they didn't have a run game, and then their O-line isn't the best either. So they just had a short passing game. No deep shots at all. So everyone they stay deep, let the underneath pass, tackle, and make sure you tackle.
If I was the Steelers, I would have fired Matt Canada and brought in Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, genuinely, like, because it has been the same ever since.
Look at Washington right now. Right? And we're going to talk about Mahomes' contract, so I'll bring up Bieniemy then. But A guy like Bieniemy, right? I know there's other guys on the top of my head that were probably available that I don't know, that I can't recall that could have been available. Kellen Moore, for example,
Yeah.
was available, and obviously I don't think he's the problem with the Chargers. I think that's Staley, but yeah, it's the offense, right? At the end of the day, like if you look at how they won this game, it was just strict defense. George Pickens went off, but after George Pickens, who really went off?
And George Pickens with one play. I think it was a 75-yard touchdown as well, or something like that.
Yeah,
And like you think about it like this: your defense outscored the offense. Defense got 2 touchdowns. What did the offense get? 1 touchdown, one field goal.
Got 1 touchdown, and
a couple field goals.
George Pickens touchdown. That's it.
So your defense got more touchdowns.
Kicking wise, they got 2 for 2 on field goals.
Yeah,
That's
that's still
special
less.
teams. I'm not even counting
That's still
that.
less.
Yeah,
though.
I'm not even counting
If
special
you
teams.
think about it, that's still less.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
How much is a small hand Kenny Pickett? The small hand issue. I don't know. I don't buy into that a lot, but I think they need to fire Matt Canada right now. I don't even care if they won this game. It's on that. I think it's a Matt Canada issue. Yes, can Kenny Pickett made better plays? I heard Dan Orlovsky say this game was more on Kenny Pickett than Matt Canada, but overall factor is still going to be Matt Canada. And you don't have the elite. Like George Pickens is there, but the second guy is Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, and Deontay Johnson's a good player.
He's good, but like
I think he was injured too.
they don't have a proper tight end.
Pat Fryermuth.
Okay, I
Pat-
don't watch much Steelers. So I don't.
Pat Fryermuth is good.
Is he that good?
He's good.
Okay, but then they have not. So they
And they
have
drafted
they
one
have
too.
some pieces.
They have pieces,
So
but
the question is, can you get the best out of Kenny Pickett? And Matt Canada ain't gonna be that guy. So he should start looking either internally, and I don't even trust internally because like, if Matt Canada is doing this, I don't trust anyone internally to take over. Maybe there's some hidden gem they could find, but if not, look for the market. Look for any head coach that's trying. Look for any fired head coach looking for a head coaching job that could make his name kind of like Dan Quinn kind of is with Dallas, right? Kellen Moore is trying to do now, was with Dallas and now Chargers, who I project to be the next head coach of the Chargers probably. That I think they need to go, that's the way they got to go. But
okay, there's issues all around personnel wise and coaching wise. That's clear. But how do you figure it out? You gotta make a move at this point, right? Because it's been this like the most easiest, simplest move is to move on from Matt Canada.
Should have made it in the offseason.
It should have been in the offseason, yes. But I think they got really hyped up in the they had a really good preseason. That's why.
This is the reason why I was not high on the Steelers as some people were, like some experts or pundits and all these guys who were on TV. I wasn't high on the Steelers for this reason. There's a reason why I picked them 4th in the division. It's just strictly because of the offense. And speaking of the team that we had higher and you kind of like fell in love with for a second, is mainly because of their defense as well. Deshaun Watson. And
I did fall in love with
Browns.
defense.
And listen, I think Deshaun Watson being away, I agree with what Pat McAfee says. He's still young enough to come back and be a top 5 quarterback potential.
Again.
Yeah, because like the last time we saw him play a full season was that Houston year where JJ Watt put his hand on his arm around his shoulder.
He led the league in passing.
Yeah, like to the point where everybody wanted him before the scandals came out, right? And I agree with Pat McAfee in that sense. Like, 2 years away from the sport ain't good for anyone. Like we've seen people struggle 1 year away.
That's true.
So I still think Deshaun Watson will be fine. He had moments this game, but again, taking care of the football wasn't one of them. And
sacks and completion percentage.
Yeah,
all was terrible.
I have more faith in the Browns figuring out their offense than the Steelers
as
of right now.
I agree with that.
And yes, Chubb is not there, but let's see. Now it's on Deshaun to carry that a bit.
I'm gonna say this for another team afterwards because we are gonna get to the other game as well.
Yeah.
But Cleveland Browns set themselves up for a Super Bowl defense, and they are playing like one.
Yes.
When healthy.
Yes.
With or without Chubb, if Deshaun Watson regains his form, they are a Super Bowl contender, hands down.
They could contend for the division.
With or without Chubb. I'm not even saying division. I'm saying Super Bowl.
Yeah.
With or without Chubb.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I agree.
If Deshaun Watson is playing like
we saw him do it with no D-Hop. And that Houston, they won 4 games, but how close were his games?
They were close.
Yeah.
So if he figures it out, this Cleveland team could be the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, for sure. With how everything's going. Yeah, that's the big question mark, right? I think he will.
But that's the if. That's the big if. What if?
As of right now, is he the worst contract in football?
Yes.
As of right
At
now,
currently moment.
as of right now, if you're, I don't know, the Jets, let's just say, would you trade for Deshaun Watson currently?
No.
You don't think he's an upgrade over Zach Wilson?
I don't think it's gonna do any better.
I'm just bringing up the Jets as a joke because I know they're not trading.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to, I think it was Nick Shuck on Halford and Bruff.
Yeah.
And he was saying, if they were to waive him after this year, if they really believed like he had Russell was like
he's
shot
done,
the bed,
like he's finished.
it's like $117 million
Dead cap.
dead cap. If they trade him, then it's just like 17. So
Yeah.
if they trade him, it's not bad. But again, I don't know how much of it that situation is it on Deshaun, how much is it on Stefanski. He's a name that should be in the hot seat now, Kevin Stefanski.
He could be, yeah. He could be.
I think you fire the coach before you do anything with Deshaun Watson and see who you could bring in.
But Stefanski's proven that he's done good.
Yeah, and listen, how good Bieniemy is doing, he will definitely be on ahead. Week 2 again, still slight overreactions here.
But yeah, that is.
We'll see how he could take a job soon.
But that is the Steelers Browns. What you need to know is that these guys' defenses are cooking, but their offenses are cooking them.
Yeah, which is why they're not going to catch.
Which is
the
why
Ravens at the moment in the division.
Exactly. But yeah, moving on to the earlier game, Saints and Panthers. And I said this about Deshaun Watson. I'm gonna say it right here. Derek Carr, if he could re-find his form from that year where he dragged the Raiders to the playoffs with the John Gruden distraction, with the Henry Ruggs distraction.
Rick Bisaccia, head
coach, and drag that team to the playoffs. If the Saints get that Derek Carr, this Saints could be the best team in the NFC.
I literally said that, right? Like for me, I think Derek Carr will find his form.
I don't
trust the coaching here either, right?
That's true.
We have a relative that's kind of a Steeler fan, but also a Saints fan, and I should have messaged him to see what his take was on this.
Yeah.
But because I think we were at an eye doctor's appointments. I focused more on the Cleveland game as I thought that was gonna be the better game. Anyways, divisional match. Even though this was a divisional matchup, that divisional matchup means a little bit more.
It's a more historic.
It's a better matchup in general, in my opinion, right?
But this Saints defense is the same thing with the Browns and the Steelers. They're freaking good. They are good. They're really good, but they're not getting any younger.
That's the thing, right? I think, like I said, their schedule is easy. The Saints have no excuse not to be contending for a bye in this conference because with how bad the NFC is. Obviously, right now, my favorite San Francisco. We get that, especially with how the rest of the teams are performing.
Bro, okay, San Francisco and Dallas currently. I'm talking about this year.
Yeah.
Eagles ain't looking good. If the Saints figure it out, they could. We know Dallas has a choking issue in the playoffs, right? So none of us really trust Dallas in the playoffs. No matter what they do in regular season.
To be honest, with Dallas, as elite as their defense has been, I know I made the claim of Giants, so I don't have the right to say this. You might. It's still the Giants. The second, Zach Wilson led Jets, and this week they're playing the Cardinals. So their competition isn't the greatest for a true test. So the Saints could do.
Okay, yeah, you can't say that because you said the Giants.
For the Giants part, but I'm just thinking a general consensus.
To be fair,
general consensus, people are like, they just play the New York teams. They ain't that great now.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, Dallas has a choke job in the playoffs.
Yes.
So nobody trusts them in general. San Fran never been over the hump since they made the Super Bowl. The NFC Championship game when they lost 2 years in a row. Eagles ain't looking good right now. Their coordinators, they're missing the coordinators.
Stole their coordinator.
If Derek Carr figures it out, this Saints team could be a Super Bowl representative.
But how much do you trust their coach, Dennis Allen?
I don't know about that. Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's the thing too.
Or their OC.
But I'm saying like Browns and Saints. I'm not gonna say for the Steelers because I don't think the Steelers are still gonna be good enough if they figure it out. But I'm genuinely think that if the Browns and the Saints figure it out offensively, they are Super Bowl contenders.
All right, my question to you is: let's flip it over to Carolina for a second. What's wrong with Bryce Young? How much is it Frank Reich? How much is it he's too small? How much is it that now it doesn't help that his old line was supposed to be good, kind of like last year Frank Reich situation with Matt Ryan.
But they're not good.
But they're not playing to the greatest, and they have a decent defense as well.
They do.
Keep in mind,
they're secondary.
All four of these teams have that in common in a way.
And
that their defenses are pretty strong.
Yeah, but Carolina's not elite.
They're the worst of the four.
Those guys are elite. Carolina's not elite.
But they're not bad either.
But they're better than...
Their secondary's not bad. J.C. Horn's injured, but like Brian Burns.
You got Brian Burns up top. You got, I think, Shaq Thompson as your linebacker. and you got Jeremy Chin, Von Bell from the Bengals. You got CJ Henderson, who's obviously hasn't been the greatest as a first round pick. Dante Jackson and JC Horn, who's injured. Their secondary is nice. They have a good defense. I'll give them that for sure. But I think to me, Bryce Young is just overwhelmed. I don't know.
The pressure, is it like...
I don't know if it's a number one pick pressure. I don't know if it's him being scared to get hit because he always getting pressure in his face right now. Or I don't know if it's Frank Reich, because to be fair, Frank Reich did not have a good year. His last couple of years, Carson Wentz year and this past year when he got fired, it weren't great years for Frank Reich.
Yeah, the Carson Wentz year, I'm not gonna defend him too much because he's the one who wanted Wentz.
He wanted Wentz too, yeah.
Obviously, as Indy fans, we know, like, I think he was still scapegoated. Like, I fully believe he deserved this job. Like,
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying he ended off.
My question with Frank Reich is he still has the same type of vibe. Like, now, granted, I don't care about Carolina like that, so I don't watch their post-game stuff. Like, I only watch the game and that's it. But then I saw some Colts fans and Colts Twitter pages post because of Frank Reich.
They look like last year's Indy team.
No, not even just that. Like, his speeches are the exact same. It's like, oh yeah, no, we're almost there. We'll get it, like, type of thing, right?
He's like a motivator.
Yeah.
But he needs to be a strict guy.
Like,
right?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are you guys doing? Play better.
I thought Carolina would have finished second, right? I think Bryce Young was that good. Clearly not, right, at the moment, because CJ Stroud's outperforming him, and Sam Howell. I know he had one start, but that's only one start last year in the NFL, and obviously Anthony Richardson.
And 5 quarters of Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, injured. Obviously, that's a different story. We're not going to talk Colts much. We'll talk a little bit Colts, but when they play the Ravens,
it's probably not much.
But
he's looking overwhelmed. I'll just say that much. I think that's the best word to describe him.
Dan Orlovsky, I know you're not watching this. We need you on the pod to talk about quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll try to reach out somehow. I'll just tweet out. I doubt it, though. The guy's an ESPN guy.
He's a busy guy, bro.
I'm sure Jeff Saturday was probably offering him a job last year, by the way, who's back on ESPN.
He was back on ESPN. Imagine if Jeff Saturday got Dan Orlovsky to be the offensive coordinator.
Dan Orlovsky, Ryan Clark, I don't care who, Marcus Spears, get on here, boys. We need you.
Imagine. But like, yeah.
I mean,
I think that's the best word. I think that's the best word to describe him is overwhelmed. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, he has Adam Thielen.
Because he's in a good spot. If you think about it on paper, he's in a decent spot.
I thought he's a good spot. Like, that's why I had them beating the Falcons week 1. And I don't know how much, I genuinely don't know. But yeah, I think that's, like, I don't know much about Carolina, to be honest with you, especially.
But I mean, it's kind of tough to judge because it's a really good Saints defense as well. But at the end of the day, right, like, I think the Panthers fans were getting on him too a little bit because I think that was the Panthers' home game.
Listen, he's a rookie.
He's a rookie first game. And I think Derek Carr said himself on the sideline. He's like, when he heard the moans and stuff, when they were coming off, he's like, yo, I don't think they realize how hard this shit is.
Oh, for sure. Like, here's the thing. Let me double check one thing quickly. This is his home game, right? Home debut?
Home debut, yeah.
Monday Night Football. So he's in the limelight. First overall pick to be debuting on Monday Night Football.
For a home debut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pressure was on him. He's a rookie. Again, Peyton Manning. Not everybody's gonna be
Trevor Lawrence,
yeah, but not everybody's gonna be like what Andrew Luck did in his rookie year.
That's
or
true.
What Patrick Mahomes did in his first full year.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson winning a Super Bowl in his rookie year, right?
Was that his rookie year?
I think it was rookie year, or at least second year.
Second year, it's not rookie year.
I'll fact check that, but I mean, I have a buddy who's a Seahawks fan. He'll probably let me know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not everybody's gonna be that, right? Like, even like Joe Burrow technically before he got hurt and then coming back from his injury. Like, not everybody's gonna be that.
No, Joe Burrow is a different example.
I know. I'm just
Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert were fine.
Yeah.
But Lawrence and
we're hoping
Manning,
he's not gonna be like Jameis Winston. I don't think he's Jamarcus Russell. That's for sure. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure he's taking his film lessons properly.
And not sitting on a couch.
Jamarcus Russell eating Wendy's at home or whatever the Burger King or whatever he was
eating. But yeah, no, he is definitely looking the worst out of the 3 rookie quarterbacks, and he is definitely just feeling that pressure and feeling overwhelmed right now.
Yeah. Okay, before we go into week 3, let's talk about some news. First off, Cam Akers, very small news before we get to the big Mahomes news. Cam Akers officially got traded finally.
Yeah, I think he was a healthy scratch last game.
Pick swap, 2026 pick swap or some shit.
And then I mean it's a good
For the
pickup,
Vikings.
good pickup for Vikings too, because I think Madison had some fumble issues
Yeah.
in the last game, which also led to some racist comments for him, which is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, no, I
Right.
will never understand racist comments.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care
Like
what.
we see in soccer all the time.
Listen,
You could jokingly make fun of players, like we do that too all the time.
you
But-
criticize, no, not even just jokingly. You could criticize a player,
Like on their
but
play.
it shouldn't, like now, for example, let's just say if Madison was white, he would have not gone racist comments. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Or would not been criticized like that.
There's things that get crossed the line, and that's
Criticize him for
definitely
his play, not his race
yeah, that's
or culture.
definitely crossing the line.
Yeah, but that's a serious topic. We should be talking about this in any sport. So
Yeah, like I've never seen it in NFL really. It's probably the first time I heard about it. But like obviously we hear it in soccer all the time.
soccer, hockey,
And we hear it in hockey too, yeah.
NBA not too much.
I don't hear NBA too much either. But yeah.
But I won't be surprised if there were stories.
Exactly. But yeah, no,
anyways,
that's disgusting.
Cam Akers had his moments. Let's see if he gets a fresh start here. There people are projecting Kirk Cousins should request a trade final year, or should Minnesota just trade him? And we'll get to that.
I mean, realistically,
we'll get to a preview in a second.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think Kirk's the biggest issue in Minnesota right now.
No.
And obviously
the thing with Minnesota, I know I cut you off, my bad. But the thing with Minnesota last year was they won so many close games that did you realize they're gonna especially losing Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen as a second option there. I know they added Jordan Addison on the draft.
I don't
How
think
are
it's not an
you
issue.
are you really gonna do that again?
That's true. It's an unsustainable way of winning last year. That was clear because they lost in the first round of the
They
playoffs.
came on
And
our
yeah,
quotes
no,
as
I mean
well.
their two biggest issues. Run defense was absolutely dreadful because all Eagles did was run
Yeah,
because they couldn't pass.
yeah.
And turnovers. Right, Kirk had his fair share. Kirk had a goal line, a red zone interception, I think, in the game one against the Buccaneers. Fumbles, special team fumbles, Madison's fumbles. Jefferson had a fumble against the Eagles as well. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's that. I mean, I think Cam Akers could help a little bit, but we'll
I
see.
don't think he's a game changer.
But he's not gonna be a game changer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's not gonna make me pick him over the Lions over, like put Lions beneath them for me.
yeah.
The other big news, let me just pull it up. Patrick Mahomes has renegotiated or restructured his contract after seeing that he's a seventh paid guy all of a sudden.
So
It already talks about this. It officially happened. He's now eligible. He's now the highest paid guy again, at least in terms of average, I believe. So he's set to bank $210.6 million over 4 years instead of the regular 10
I think
million.
that's the highest ever over a 4-year span.
Yeah, instead of the 10-year, whatever, 500 mil, whatever he had signed,
Yeah.
have agreed on a restructured deal. He's allowed to revisit the deal again in 2026. Lamar, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow all signed lucrative deals this offseason, which eclipsed the guaranteed money Mahomes signed back in 2020.
Yeah.
Mahomes' original contract fully guaranteed him $141.4 million according to SpotRack. However, the pact contained triggers that guaranteed additional money as the contract progressed, so like incentives. He was the 8th highest paid in the NFL before reworking his deal. And yeah, Mahomes won 2 MVP, Super Bowl. We already know that.
We already know that. I mean, it's deserved, right? There's no reason.
For sure.
He's already done so much and like
He
such.
retires today. He's a Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
and he'll be a
Now he's just like trying to make bank
yeah,
as much as he can.
as much as he could win, because like he's the only one on track right now to become the next GOAT.
Yeah,
Even though he lost to the GOAT, but I wouldn't blame him because the O line was decimated.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's my thing though. Let's get off the Mahomes talk. Let's talk about Chiefs very quickly because I mentioned Eric Bieniemy. How much of a factor is he now missing here? Now I get it. The first game there was no Travis Kelce and Kadarius Toney couldn't catch anything. Second week Kadarius Toney was better. Kelce was there. They barely won. Their offense wasn't the greatest.
It's
and
not.
now
It
flip
hasn't
side, Washington, second week especially has been pretty well. They came back 21-0 down or whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that. Put up.
And
I mean, we could just say it like this, right? Like they put up 33 points
yeah,
against a Denver defense who's good.
yes,
Like Denver, as much as they're a shit team, they have a good defense.
yeah,
But they have a true test against the Bills defense this week. But yeah, no, I mean, Sam Howell is looking good. I think he has the most passing yards and the most touchdowns in his division. So compared to Dak, Jalen Hurts, and Daniel Jones. And yeah, I mean, they're cooking. right? I mean, it was Denver and freaking Arizona, but for what it's been worth, they're doing what they're supposed to do right now,
Yeah.
which
But
is
no,
a good sign. But yeah, 20 points against Arizona is not the greatest, but 35 against the Denver defense is nice.
Yeah, and on the flip side, Mahomes obviously struggled without Kelsey in week 1 and struggled in week 2 offensively in a way. I don't know how much, like Matt Nagy's like OC there. Again, how much is it Matt Nagy over Eric Bieniemy? Clearly overreacting right now. But
Yeah, I
in
think
2 weeks in, EB's missed and he needs a head coaching position.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a concern in 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Once we reach like week 5 or week 6, we're like, okay, what's going on with this offense? But they've done so much in the past that
Yeah.
they deserve enough. They deserve a couple weeks to like see if they're really shitting the bed or not.
Speaking of week 3 now, Mahomes, I'm just going to say this. He's playing the Bears. Now, I don't know how good the Bears defense is. So let's see how that works out. And Washington, like you mentioned, is playing Pittsburgh. So Buffalo. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's get right into do you want to go Thursday Night Football right away, or do you want to close off with Thursday Night Football and just recap?
We'll close off with Thursday Night Football.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go to a recap preview transition. Starting off with a recap. Who was your biggest disappointment in week 2?
I mentioned it on Monday's pod. I don't think anyone on Monday Night Football really changed my mind, because at the end of the day, they were still decent games. They're still the Chicago Bears for me.
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears. I had you guys finishing even fighting for second, but for sure third of the division. You get Justin Fields is blaming his coach apparently, but he did walk it back a little bit.
Yeah.
And when you see the whole written wise, the context is not there, but when you watch the clip, I think it's like he lays it out on himself more. But no, it's Chicago. Like, you're playing Tampa Bay. I get it. They have Mike Evans and Baker's no slouch, but you're supposed to take a next step forward. And again, how much is this on coaching and how much is on Justin Fields? I was seeing some clips on Get Up this morning and yesterday morning that he had 5 seconds to hold onto the ball and he had DJ Moore wide open and
There were plays where like he should have thrown the ball.
Yeah,
and he didn't. But also the coaching part is they're not using him as a runner as much either.
Yeah, so for me, biggest upset or disappointment, Justin Fields
and the Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also put in the Chargers a little bit just because.
They were up there too. I talked about them on Monday.
But I am going with the Denver Broncos. You had a 21-0 lead. Russell Wilson, good first half, bad second half. What happened to the defense in the second half? I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
And the Denver Broncos are my thing. You can't blow a 21-0 lead. You just can't do that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And now what? You got a Hail Mary at the end and then mess up the 2-point conversion. But Denver Broncos, they have not been good. And, Sean Payton might not be their savior after all.
Yeah. Again, if it were up to you, would you fire Sean Payton or would you try to get rid of that contract at the end of this year?
I mean, I think the easier.
I guess it depends on where they finish too. Like
Yeah.
Caleb Williams and whoever. Shadur Sanders is rumored not. No, well, Deion Sanders has come out and said he doesn't want him to be the draft this year, to be second to to Caleb Williams.
Like, he wants to be his own guy.
And
have
plus,
his
he's
own
like
draft.
the nail deals now help with the money, so that's
That's true
to stay in
too.
college. But yeah, which one would you pick?
I don't know. I feel like
Obviously, you can't fire Sean Payton.
you can't fire Sean
You
Payton.
give up draft picks.
But it's kind of tough to get rid of with Wilson's contract.
They could just waive him and like take the money in.
Yeah, but
They're
how
rich,
much
man.
how much money you gonna take really in? But yeah, moving on to the next one. Surprise team of the week.
Okay, so this one, as much as I want to say, not even just Washington or Tennessee, I'm just gonna go with it. They lost. Arizona.
I had him.
Arizona.
I was considering
And I
them.
know they blew a 28-7 lead, but they were not even supposed to have that lead.
They're not even supposed to have 28
Like, I could have
points.
easily put Giants as my disappointment. Like, they were my disappointment until they made this comeback, right?
Yeah.
Arizona. Like, I genuinely think I expected Titans to maybe win. I expected maybe the
Like, Titans had a chance.
Rams to kind of
Rams
make it close.
Rams had a chance more than the.
But you didn't think the Cardinals would be
Arizona
up that much. Now I get it. They choked. Don't get me wrong. Like, that should be disappointing that they choked.
They're not supposed to be scoring 28 points with Joshua
They're
Dobbs.
too busy relying on Houston to tank for them, essentially.
Right, like, because they put on 2 close games.
Yeah, but yeah, it's Arizona for me. I don't think.
They might have lost, but like I had them. I considered them.
If it
too.
was like back and forth, then no.
Yeah.
But because it was like at 1.21, nothing 28-7, it's got to be. Your quarterback's Josh Dobbs, and I don't know who you're throwing the ball to.
Yeah.
right?
And I don't know who your defenders are anymore.
Yeah.
Other than Buda Baker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I put them there, but this is the one I think it's not like, it might be questionable, might not be, but this is my main reason why I picked this team. The Atlanta Falcons. They were the ones coming back and not choking.
True.
So, yeah, I mean, Green Bay, good game. And Atlanta freaking pulled it off. Bijan, great game. Tyler Algier, I don't know why I picked you up and started you. That was a big mistake for me. And, this running attack is nice. If they could figure out a little bit of the passing attack, the Falcons could be a surprise playoff team.
Did you see that slow-mo Bijan jukes?
Well, they're
I think
nasty,
Sports
right?
Center posted it on like an overhead view, and then whenever he did a juke, it was like a slow-mo.
They're nasty, bro. They're absolutely nasty. And
Bijan, learn how to catch a ball, and every kid learn how to catch a ball. And if you're a running back, then you'll get paid.
But yeah, no, Atlanta Falcons, they didn't choke. They're a reverse choke.
Yeah, normally they're known for this.
They're normally known for choking.
28-3, those jokes still haunt Matt Ryan.
But yeah, no, they're undefeated. And as long as the Buccaneers as well, you got to give them credit too. And Washington, like we mentioned before. But we're moving on to week 3. Pick your game of the week, your favorite game.
I think there's only one answer.
And
this is overall.
Yeah.
Right? Like, my personal, I could watch other games. I just think it's Vikings Chargers.
I have them there. That's definite.
It's just, they're both 0-2. They're both playoff caliber teams.
Played
One
good.
of them's got to win.
They played good too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're getting shit kicked, right? They were like barely losing.
One of them's got to win. And and I think that's just the game of the week.
Good offenses.
There's a lot of implications.
Good offenses, bad
both
defenses.
Teams like to choke in a way.
Good offenses.
Yeah.
Bad, not great defenses, but yeah, like I said. Yeah, I had them there.
One question. Speaking of Minnesota, if Minnesota loses this game, should they look to trade Kirk Cousins to the Jets?
To the Jets. Specifically to the Jets.
If I'm the Jets, like, you'd rather take Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah, 100% I'd rather take Kirk Cousins.
And then give Brees Hall the ball more than 4 times, but yeah.
That's true too. But, I mean, look to trade, I don't think so. I mean, I think they're still trying to... NFC's not... let's be fair. NFC's not at the AFC, right? They always have a chance. And starting off 0-3, they could come back from that.
I want to see a QB traded at the trade deadline.
Because
we've never seen it before.
And also, yeah, that's true. But let's be realistic. They haven't played any divisional games yet. So they have a chance of making up ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I had that too. I agree with that. My second option, Green Bay, New Orleans.
That was yours?
That's like my second one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm obviously going with Chargers, Vikings as well.
Okay, because my second one, I'll get into a second too.
Yeah, but yeah, Packers, Saints, before last year, would be like, oh, it's Rodgers, he'll probably cook. But I remember that one year with Jameis Winston threw for like 5 touchdowns and beat the Packers in week 1. I think it was a couple years ago. But this time, the Saints are obviously favored, but the Packers are looking nice, right? Packers defense is good. Saints defense is good. We already know this. So let's see whose offense turns up more. And right now, it's looking like the Green Bay's offense is turning up more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my Green Bay Saints. Do you have a second one?
Well, I'll get to it because I know you're the next question you're going to ask.
Oh. Player matchup.
Oh, I thought you were going to upset potential.
That's next one. That's after.
Player matchup for me was, I had it here. Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, I had that.
Versus
Garrett Wilson. So if they're lined up against each other, that's going to be good.
Because after seeing Christian Gonzalez do what he did against Tyreek Hill, I'm not saying it's going to be easy against Garrett Wilson, don't get me wrong, but young guy, second-year guy versus rookie, Christian Gonzalez has something to prove being dropped. And
he has been proving
probably
it.
For him, happy he got dropped because he went to the best defensive guy.
He has been proving it, and he's a favorite for defensive rookie of the year right now.
My backup, I don't know if this is yours, I'll just say it right now, was Mike Evans versus Darius Slay.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I think Slay is healthy. I think Bradbury's the one who's hurt. But yeah, no, that's a good one. I put up because the Falcons are playing the Lions. I went with AJ Terrell versus Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I think Amon-Ra is questionable.
And you're an Amon-Ra fan and an AJ Terrell fan.
I like both of them. I really do like both of them. And that's why I like that matchup as well. And AJ Terrell had a sick year last year. It doesn't get talked about because like Falcons just have a shit defense last year. But both teams that like Lions are obviously everyone's hyping up the Lions, and then the Falcons are 2-0. So we'll see. That's gonna be a good matchup as well.
When I think matchup, I usually just think wide receiver corner.
No, there's D line.
I know there's O line, D line, but I want to think about the matchups.
Wait till we get week 4, and we see Rams versus Colts, you're gonna have a Quentin Nelson, Aaron Donald, if Aaron Donald's lining up inside.
Yeah, true. We're trying not to pick a Colt, but yeah.
Yeah, but like I remember, I was hyping up that one a couple years ago when the
Because otherwise, a fun one would have been Lamar Jackson versus that D line. Because that would have been just fun.
oh, that's for us fans. Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying in general.
But yeah, I mean, now our last one added in this week. Upset alert. Who is on upset alert this week?
Especially if he's injured, but even if he's not, Cincinnati Bengals. This was my second game I was looking into because the Rams have surprised a little bit, right? Beat the Seahawks comfortably in the second half, especially, and they, as much as we had San Francisco as our power ranking number 1, and they still deserve to be there, a touchdown win is still there. They lost by a touchdown.
That's
and
true.
that team was supposed to be bad, and that guy Puka
Nakua.
So, and he's going. I don't know who their corner is really. That's Cincinnati, but because they lost Jesse Bates in the safety.
That's
too.
safety, right? I'll quickly check that right now.
But I just think Rams could upset alert them because like Aaron Donald's wreaking havoc. That O-line hasn't been performing well still. And
Yeah, Bengals O-line.
give Matt Stafford some little bit of time.
And he's been.
And he'll
Stafford's
find
been
Puka.
good.
Puka's been like leading in everything right now.
Stafford's been good.
Right now, is
has
Puka
been good.
leading Opoy for you?
Oh, 100%.
No, because like Jefferson like is still up there too in a sense.
Oh, Opoy.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant O'Roy.
No, Opoy.
Oh, yeah,
as
no.
well.
I don't know about Opoy, but like, he's definitely in the conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, their secondary, they have Chidobe Awuzie, Mike Hilton,
Yeah, so it's okay.
Cam Taylor-Britt. So
So the question is, can that O-line hold up against guys like Sam Hubbard? I believe is there. Is Trey Hendrickson still there?
Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson is their main edge rushers.
Yeah. So,
DJ Reader is their
but yeah,
D
that's my
tackle.
upset alert. I think that's the.
That's your upset alert? I had two. Eagles, Buccaneers. I think Eagles are on upset alert. Their defense has not been great, and the way that Baker's playing, and they have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, right? They could definitely do something. And then obviously, Tampa Bay, I think, has a good run defense, especially with Vita Vea in the middle. If they could stop that run, the Eagles are going to have to win by passing the ball. And the Eagles' passing game has not looked good.
Two things.
But that's my second one.
Yeah. Oh, that's your second. Okay, forward first.
Baltimore Ravens are on upset alert. I am telling you this. I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious.
Wait,
I'm not saying Colts are going to win.
Okay, I mean, Gardner Minshew might be playing.
Okay, yeah. I know Anthony Richardson could be injured. But even if
Ryan Kelly might be injured.
Ryan
He's been
Keller,
solid.
but like, okay, that's two. I'm gonna read you the Ravens people who are listed on the report right now.
Okay. Are they like confirmed out?
They're not confirmed out, but like
Okay.
Odell Beckham, questionable.
Okay.
Jadeveon Clowney, questionable.
Yeah. Kind of falling off a bit.
Ronnie Stanley, questionable.
Okay.
Tyus Bowser's already out. Marcus Williams, questionable.
Okay.
Marlon Humphrey, questionable.
Now watch you say all this and they're all playing.
Yeah, I know, but it's not even that. Justice Hill is questionable, but I think he'll be fine. Odafe Owe, questionable. Tyler Lindenbaum, questionable.
So what you're saying is DeForest Buckner should get Lamar Jackson. But
What
Lamar
I'm
Jackson,
saying is that the Ravens are the classic Ravens of being injured, right?
Okay.
If Anthony Richardson is healthy, because I think it's gonna be tough with Gardner Minshew, being a little bit more just one dimensional.
Don't worry, you'll get a second baby football.
Well, that's Kylan Granson.
That's what I'm saying. You'll get a second baby football.
But like,
him.
I mean, Steichen's play calling has been great, right?
Yeah.
Ravens have a good defense. Don't get me wrong. Colts have a good defense too, right? The Ravens can't run, attack, and beat the Colts. They have to pass the ball.
But the question is, can they chase down Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, that's true. But like, that's a question
And
for
then
everyone.
he'll extend.
But
the
if
play
they could
because of
find
that.
a way to contain Lamar Jackson,
That's the key.
The only issue with the Colts defense is their secondary and the passing game, because realistically Stroud went off, Nico Collins cooked us.
That's the key.
That
Like,
is
Lamar-
that is the only thing I could see with the Colts, failing, because I am, as much as I'm going to say it, Steichen and his offense has won me over.
You do realize they played Houston, right?
Huh? But the Jaguars as well.
They was okay in that one. I wouldn't think he wasn't.
But I'm
crazy.
just saying, like, they're injured. Like, if Marcus Williams and Marlon Humphrey and Odafe Owe are not playing, Michael Pittman should do something this game.
Who's our deep threat?
It's probably
If
Alex.
that's the case, who's our deep threat?
We haven't done deep shots in
So
general.
and especially with the guy with the cannon of an arm might be out. But here's my thing. From the
No, I'm saying Anthony Richardson has to be healthy for us to
no, it's
have
fine.
swing.
I get the.
I know, and this is not mean. I'm not saying the Baltimore.
Oh, I
Ravens.
know.
Like, I would
I'll
still
be
pick
honest,
the
my family
Ravens.
pick 'ems. I know you picked the Colts.
Well, that's just
obviously.
like I do it for fun. But like,
I picked Baltimore.
if I'm being smart, which I'm not,
and you're
I'm
leading,
I'm picking
up
the
there
Ravens.
Leading, but
I'm picking the Ravens.
Yeah, no, you might be right. For all we know.
But I'm just saying they have a chance.
Yeah, no. I mean, a lot of teams have chances for sure.
No, not a lot. Like, I don't think the Cardinals have a chance against the Cowboys.
Okay, yeah. I said,
Alright?
that's why I said a lot.
But the Colts genuinely have an opening here.
My only concern is because Lamar could extend plays, and like you said, that's secondary. That's the main
Yeah,
question.
it
Daryl Baker
sucks.
got cooked. Juju and Jalen Jones haven't been playing much at the moment, especially Juju.
Juju has been
He hasn't played
scratched,
once.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I
They're-
see it. I like the argument. I'm a little cautious still because I like our D line. So that's the main thing. Our D line and Shaq hasn't been get going yet.
If
Shaq could be key, man. What if this guy just gets going with his turnover?
but
king?
I think Shaq's been on a limit too, right? Like
That's
he hasn't
why.
been on every
Obviously,
play.
yeah.
But I mean, D line, linebackers, we're set. Safeties, I think, are solid. They'll get the job done. Cornerbacks, they're pretty stinky. All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the Buccaneers for a second because you mentioned that earlier. Two things. One, did you see that post? I think my buddy sent this over to me. Shaq Barrett, is it?
Yeah, Shaquille Barrett.
He's like he requested a trade, but then he's like, I don't know why I requested a trade. This defense is so fun.
Actually,
He literally admitted
yeah.
to that.
Yeah, Todd Bowles was their defensive coordinator before he became head coach. But yeah, I didn't see that. I'll be honest with you.
I'll pull up the exact quote, but yeah. But my second thing is I was looking at Bleacher Report's trade board after week 2. Jonathan Taylor jumped to number 2. This was before the Kareem Hunt signing became official.
Yeah.
Number 1 is still Chase Young, but
Yeah.
there's a certain wide receiver, obviously Mike Evans,
Yeah.
and they're saying that teams that should like target him or link to or what, not link to, but like target him or a best fit. Indianapolis Colts was one of them, so tying in their Colts take,
Wow. Yeah.
and Houston Texans. Now, I don't think if he gets traded, I don't think he goes to a rebuilding situation. No,
I don't think he goes to
depending
Houston.
on how Indy and Houston.
Because
even
Houston, in my
does.
opinion, Houston has a lot more to fix up still. But Colts, obviously, wide receiver is a need, and it's not like the Colts are gonna. It's not like, to be fair, Colts are not Super Bowl contenders. They could be a sneaky playoff team. That's their highest.
and if they got Mike Evans,
That's their
that opens
ceiling.
the game
That's
up
their
for
ceiling.
sure.
Even with Mike Evans, that's their ceiling.
Maybe Jonathan Taylor.
But if he wants something better, obviously he's not going for that team.
Yeah,
But yeah, fit wise, I 100% agree. We need a wide receiver. Houston could use a wide receiver, and it will really help this offense.
Yeah, I don't
That
know
is-
what the post is, but yeah. That's the Shaq Barrett post back to that is just hilarious to me.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay's defense is good.
Yeah.
My issue was offense the whole time, and they're playing better than I expected. So shout out to Baker, and I guess it's really a breath of fresh air for him in Tampa Bay.
I mean, no one gives a shit about him right now.
That's probably why it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that our NFL for this week? No, it's Thursday night.
Thursday Night Football.
Quickly, our picks. It was Giants, Niners.
Giants are missing Andrew Thomas.
Andrew
and
Thomas
Saquon.
and Saquon are out, so Nick Bosa should be feasting. And yeah,
Brock Purdy should be remaining undefeated.
he should be. Yeah, honestly,
Like, would you consider him still being undefeated because he's got injured in that playoff game too?
like
that-
overall.
Yeah.
I mean, he did play like
He
what?
wasn't the reason they lost that game either. So
No, he got what? It was his first drive,
yeah,
and he got out.
yeah,
I mean, he still played the second half, but like he was just handing the ball off.
yeah, exactly.
Like everyone knew they were running.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for NFL then.
Yeah, that's it for NFL.
We both have Niners easily winning.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna say
Niners easy.
like 20. I don't know.
You go by 20?
Yeah,
I'll be nice.
19.
I'll go 16.
Okay, last thing of football related. First of all, before I get to, it's college football. Before I get to the actual big news, Deion Sanders, man, I want that guy as my coach.
Bro.
This guy's like a guy who injured Travis Hunter. He's like, stop giving him like death threats and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a kid. He's willing to learn. I forgave him. The team forgave him. Travis Hunter forgave him, so it's fine. And then which is a good thing to see.
Yeah, Deion's a goat.
Second, now we alluded to it before. Michigan State has officially terminated, or to terminate. But at the time I saved this, but I'm pretty sure they are terminating head coach Mel Tucker's contract for cause. The school announced on Monday. The termination notice provides Tucker with 7 calendar days to respond and present reasons to me and the interim president. I'm quoting Alan Howler, the athletic director, to me and the interim president as to why he should not be terminated for cause. So for cause meaning there's a reason why he's gonna get terminated. It's not like udai.
Yeah.
And the news comes 8 days after the Spartans suspended him. 51-year-old was in his third year of a 10-year, $95 million contract. Like we said, if allegedly sexual assault to a victim of sexual
To an activist.
to a Brenda Tracy, a rape survivor and assault prevention activist, says Tucker made sexual comments and masturbated without her consent during a phone call. So that's the allegation. Tucker called the allegations completely false on September 11th. So let's see. Obviously, it's the right thing to do for now. Now, if these allegations are false, the part that will suck is maybe Michigan State move on from a head coach, and he might be out of a job.
He might be out of a job,
So
which is obviously
that's like always thing. But you have to, like I said, I've always been a guy that you take face value both sides, the allegations and take the response as well.
But at the end of the day, like, if it's true,
He's a
get
fucked
out
up
of here.
human
Just
being.
get out of
Yeah,
here.
just a fucked up human being.
Yeah. Just
Secondary coach Harlan Barnett is serving as the team's interim head coach. Mike D'Antonio, the school's all-time winningest coach, recently joined the school as Barnett's associate head coach. Okay, and and they got their ass kicked by UW. Michael Penix,
Michael Penix, yeah, he's looking like a solid.
We should go to a college game, get our passports renewed, and let's go down to UW.
Go down to
Right?
Washington, right?
And then go watch the Gonzaga basketball game because that's also down the border.
Yeah, there should be starting too.
Yeah, but okay.
I'll be honest with you. For the longest time, I did not know where Gonzaga was.
I didn't know either until I googled it.
I was like, yo, what
I
the
thought it
hell
was
is
on the
this
East
school?
Coast.
Huh?
I thought it was on the
Yeah, I
East
thought it was
Coast or
somewhere around
Midwest
there.
somewhere, and it
Yeah.
turned out to be across the border,
Exactly.
somewhere in Washington State. But yeah, that's it for NFL. That's it for alleged Mel Tucker news. And
just that's it for football news.
moving on, big trade. This team right here, the Vancouver Canucks,
I mean,
made a trade.
to be fair, as Canucks fans, it's a big trade.
Yeah, because it's
Not to the general public of NHL fans, but
yeah.
as Canucks fans, it's a big trade.
So Tanner Pearson officially traded to Montreal for Casey DeSmith, goaltender,
Tanner Pearson and a
a third round pick. Third round pick on 2025.
2025,
if I'm not
yes.
mistaken. For Casey DeSmith. The problem with adding the third is because Tanner Pearson last year was injured. There was also legal concerns. There were allegations and stuff about
Like
how he was treated.
how his injury was handled, right?
Multiple hand surgeries. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think they did right by him instead of like putting him on waivers or whatever,
Yeah.
or sending him to the AHL. You find a trade, you get under the cap.
You save $800K.
Yeah, not a lot, but still,
It's still
decent.
something, right? And
you get a logjam of wingers. And yeah, now the question is how the team's gonna take it. I feel like they'll be fine, just because it was handled correctly. And the reason why I'm saying that is because OEL is gone, but people loved him in the locker room. We knew what the backfiring of the Markstrom, even though we didn't need him anymore. Tanev, who we needed, and Toffoli, who also we needed. Benning messed all that up.
yeah,
Getting rid of all those guys and keeping the one guy who shouldn't in Bertanen at the time.
exactly.
But like just locker room presence, right? Like you saw how that year went out. There was no real presence there.
Yeah, that's true.
Same thing with Tanner Pearson. He was beloved in the locker room, and how let's see how it's going to be affected. But they're professionals. Always you got to move on.
They're professionals, and they also they brought in some veterans, right? They brought in some leadership. Ian Cole, Carson Soucy's experienced, and Teddy Bluger won a cup.
This is the second or third time I think Pearson got traded by that regime.
All right,
in
yeah.
Pittsburgh as well, to Vancouver.
Pittsburgh to Vancouver, and now out of Vancouver. But I mean, realistically, it's a previous regime contract. They're trying to make some room. It was a move that if this didn't happen, if it wasn't Pearson, something similar was gonna happen.
It was better than waving Hoglander, that's for sure.
And there's someone similar is gonna happen. And now now those roster cuts and everything. If Hoglander does get dropped or something, it's on Hoglander's performance, right? It's on Podkolzin's performance.
Well, here's the thing: Hoglander is also no longer waiver exempt as Podkolzin is.
Yeah.
So you can't just drop him because someone will pick him up. So you gotta be careful with that.
But I'm just saying, now it's on these guys where a roster spot is available, and there's no if I drop this guy, I don't have to worry about waivers or anything. Like, if I drop Pearson, it'll be on waivers. But yeah, it's on Hoglander, it's on Podkozen to take this, step, and let's see if they make the NHL squad from day one. And my favorite is Hoglander.
Yeah. For me, this trade, I'm fine with it. I know there's certain people on Twitter that are like, okay, well, you give up another draft pick. Sure, I get it. Last year you gave a second in the Jason Dickinson trade. You're giving away, and we're not a cup contender. I know for a fact we're not a cup contender. Again, the low chance anything could happen argument is still there, but at the end of the day, this is a playoff team, not comfortably either. Like, there should be a playoff team, but I won't be surprised if they don't make it. The big thing, the one thing they did this year with this trade was they want to avoid every distraction possible. Last year, you had Bruce Boudreau coming in without a contract extension. You had Bo Horvat's contract in talks. You still had the PD, which is the only question mark right now left is the PD contract.
Yeah, true.
That was still lingering last year, somewhat of the question marks. You had, every other distraction possible. This year, they got rid of Tanner Pearson, respectfully, in a way, too. Whatever move they got rid of OEL early. They named Quinn Hughes captain, so you don't have the captain distraction anymore. And they did it low-key, in a press conference, rather than doing a big celebration like they did with Bo Horvat and I think Henrik Sedin back then. And so outside of the PD thing, which is somewhat of a distraction, but PD's just saying, I want to see the team play well. If they play well, he'll probably resign. I'm sure
it's not like there. Yeah, okay, as a distraction, as a fan, I'm
and you have your head coach in place.
And as a fan, I am worried just in case he does leave.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like, there is some pressure. That's true. But at the same time, he's not like, I'm gone, right? He's not like he has like a proper reason of holding out, because to be fair,
we've been shit,
right? And then he just wants to see how the team performs, and I believe they are a better team than last year and these last few years. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the start goes. If you have a good start and then PD's not signed, then I'll get worried. Then I'll start stressing out.
The thing I don't get is, like, listen, I get it. They signed JT Miller, this regime right now, Rutherford, Alvin. They signed JT Miller to an extension. Maybe they shouldn't have. I get that. They may have done other moves. They shouldn't have.
Hronek is questionable, obviously.
That Hronek trade is questionable at the moment. We'll see how it plays out. But at the end of the day, trading Bo Horvat wasn't their piece, right? The reason why they signed Miller was they probably picked Miller over Horvat. OEL wasn't their trade piece. There's a reason why they're trying to get rid of Brock Besser. Connor Garland, but they didn't. They extended Brock Besser, so I get that part. And then OEL. Not OEL. It was another one. Tanner Pearson.
It wasn't dumb. Yeah.
So it wasn't dumb either. A lot of these signings and stuff weren't dumb. They obviously agreed. Like, Rutherford in the press conference today on Wednesday said there were moves that they did not hate that the Benning era made.
Yeah.
It's just because of the flat cap, you have to make tough decisions. I'm sure he loves the Hughes deal. The one thing Benning did was somehow finesse some deals.
Yeah.
Demko Hughes. PD, short term, sure, not long term.
That's true.
So he probably enjoyed the.
But PD's still RFA too, right?
Yeah, he enjoyed Hughes and Demko's contracts, 100%.
100%.
And
obviously drafting them as well.
The thing I don't understand is like, we're criticizing. Like, there are fans out there that are criticizing the move. Oh, the big picture is they're still not going to win a cup, bro. That's so far ahead. Let's just take what they said at face value. They're saying everything they're pretty much doing. They made the team better. They made cap space. You added more defense. You got a coach they believed in.
You're adding in younger guys as well. Like, all these college signings. Kito Hirose, right? I think was a big one.
He's fighting for it, but he's a favorite to get that spot. But the reason why he said we signed Ian Cole and Carson Soucy was for guys like potentially Kito Hirose, but guys like Elias Pettersson, the defenseman. We have to make that clear every time. The defenseman, DPD, maybe as people want to call him.
DPD, yeah.
Tom Willander. And whoever else, Philip Johansson, they could develop more, right? We have 3 years with Soucy, 1 year with Cole.
We don't have to throw him in the fire right away.
Right,
how we did Hoglander.
Like how we did Hoglander, how we did Virtanen, and all that. So I'm fine with the moves. I think they did, this should be a playoff team. Now, we could criticize the JT Miller trade signing if he does not perform well this year, then okay, fair game. But as of right now, on the surface, JT Miller had a good second half when Tocchet was there. When Demko came back, he was fine. You add Casey DeSmith, who's a decent backup goalie. Spencer Martin might not be the guy anymore. You have competition for him.
Arthur Seelovs
is AHL for sure now.
It's not a question mark, right? Like, backup goalie is not a question mark as people thought it was before. Casey DeSmith could do a job. Arthur Seelovs, if it is a battle between those three, Martin, Seelovs, and DeSmith, it's a good battle.
It's not going to be Seelovs.
But I'm just saying it's a good competitive battle.
No, because they brought in another guy. I forgot his name. But they brought in that should be ahead of Seelovs in the depth chart.
Yeah, and obviously they're going to try to let Seelovs develop. Yeah. That makes sense. So, but I'm just saying they have a healthy competition for the backup spot. Yeah. But before, you did not have that.
So let's just see this team play. There'll be hopefully a fun team to watch. We're going to criticize the start. Tocchet said, embrace the pressure. Let's just play. Like, if you're going to pressure, oh my God, the start, then you're going to crumble, right? Like, just play your hockey, play normally, play like you're supposed to play, and you'll be fine. Well, training camp starts today in Victoria. It starts today, right? Yeah. As we start. And for many teams, it starts today as well, right? When this pod comes out. And we'll see who's in shape and who's not in shape. People came early. The leadership group there. Now Quinn Hughes, most likely Miller, Pearson, and Demko or Myers even. Part of the A's or conversation of that leadership group. Set the culture, get going, and you'll be fine. Like, I have confidence for once this year. Now, every time I say that, this team up there, this team down here, piss me off, right? So
yeah, the Blue Jays and Manchester United.
Yeah, for the audio listeners who
but I mean, it is the hope that kills you. I learned that from Ted Lasso. But
shout out.
But at the same time, there is hope for this team again.
Unlike last year, where
I didn't have hope last year. I'll be honest with you.
I kind of did just because Boudreaux.
It's just because of Boudreaux, right? But to be fair, Boudreaux's play style was like, let the players be free.
Yeah.
Where to a certain point, aka when he just first came in.
Yeah. No.
Whereas talk is like legit structure. Legit. You saw the defense play better. Them play better defensively. You saw them address their needs, PK needs. Teddy Bluger, PK guy. Ian Cole, PK guy. Carson Soucy could play on the PK as well. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see what's going to happen.
The question is, will the coaching and the players fulfill it? Because last year, they did kind of address it with Curtis Lazar and them. It did not work out. But yeah, those of you that are expecting them to win a cup next year, don't. Like, I'm just here to just watch this team try to get into the playoffs, kind of like how they did in the bubble year. And just see, like, again, in a perfect world, we could win a cup. In a perfect world. I don't think that. We'll obviously talk NHL closer to when the season starts. And yeah, like, there's people actually projecting this team to make the playoffs. For example, Frank Saravelli.
In a perfect world, I would have been graduated school by now.
In a perfect world, we would be on the top. This podcast would have been done many years ago. And
in a perfect world, we won't be stressing over this podcast.
Yeah. But no. Yeah, I'm excited for the season. Let's see how it goes. Now, like I said, the two teams up here, even last year's Colts, I was excited for, and shit went down the hill. Lakers, same thing in a way. For you, Raptors, I don't know how excited you were, but yeah.
But yeah, I am more excited for the Canucks than I am the Raptors. But yeah, also in another perfect world, Man United won't be shit. But we'll get on to that later.
Yeah.
And another perfect world, hopefully the Blue Jays make the playoffs. And yeah.
Okay, let's get into some quick fire. Sticking with the NHL, 2 more captains have been named, which is crazy. One of them was kind of obvious. Bruins today, or on Wednesday officially, announced Brad Marchand, I think the 27th or whatever.
Yeah, makes sense, right? Like, this guy.
Who else is going to take it?
This guy has been there. He's the leadership. He's one of the best players, and he bites fingers for a living. So it's a good example.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, jokes aside, he knows the culture.
Yeah, he's
the guy to step up there.
Yeah.
So Brad Marchand, officially the Boston Bruins captain. Braden Shen is the official 24th captain, which is crazy because Hughes was the 14th, I think, right? Or 15th?
Yeah, something like that, right?
But yeah, Braden Shen, 24th captain of the St. Louis Blues. Little surprised it was not Robert Thomas or like Jordan Kyrou. But we also had their coach call him out last year.
That's true.
Or the year before.
Braden Shen, like Marchand, he's been there for a while.
Yeah.
He's won a cup with them. And he is...
The culture.
He knows the culture, right? He knows...
Well, they have to set a new culture now because a lot of those guys...
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think I have no issues with that.
Yeah. So, congrats to you guys. Let's see. I don't know who... Calgary still doesn't have a captain.
Yeah, Calgary doesn't.
That's like the only one I could think off the top of my head because Adam Lowry and Quinn Hughes already named captains.
Yeah, that's true.
Moving on, quickfire still. Baseball, very quickly. We're not going to recap playoffs. That will be for Monday's pod. Stay tuned. Shout out to the Blue Jays so far. And but no, Shohei Ohtani officially had surgery. Officially a free agent this year. Officially will not be pitching next year as well.
Makes sense. Torn UCL. Obviously.
But still could be hitting, which is crazy.
Big issue. Yeah, you could hit off that.
Yeah.
And he's like, hitting to 2024, pitching 2025. So he's obviously aiming to be back, to be the dual guy again. But the bigger news for Shohei Ohtani is, where the hell is he gonna go?
So on his Instagram, he said he's still gonna be with the team the whole way through. Go Halos. Now that could just be not to cause any distractions and media.
Go what? They're not going anywhere. Halos, by the way.
Yeah, well, fan base.
Yeah.
But yeah, in other baseball news, since your eyes are very dead and tired, I could tell, like they're so baggy. You should talk to USA Kikuchi.
Oh, Yusei Kikuchi.
Those of you guys don't get it, Yusei Kikuchi cramped up in his base last outing, and his reasoning was he only got 11 hours of sleep, not his usual 13 to 14. So
I'm on 4 hours right now.
I'm on like 5 or 6 as well. So
yeah, we probably should talk to Yusei Kikuchi.
But yeah, moving on very quickly. UFC right before we hit record, massive cards.
Co-main event been announced.
Set up. We're already excited for October, which had a sick card.
Makhachev
with Makhachev, Oliveira,
yeah.
And then I forgot what the co-main was, but it was big. The guy who was he turned like a heel, Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah, Chimaev, yeah.
Well, right now on the November card,
Jones Miocic is the main event.
The co-main event is Alex Pereira is back. Light heavyweight will face Yuri Projatska. I butchered the hell out of the name.
But we just call him Yuri.
Yeah, don't kick my ass, please.
Yeah, you probably could. Probably would.
Yes. Probably yes.
He would, yeah.
For the vacant light heavyweight title, like we said, many injuries started off with Yuri when he finally won it in literally the last 5 seconds.
Yeah, so Yuri won it last 5 seconds over Glover, right?
Yeah, then tore his Achilles or ACL, one or the other.
Making that title vacant.
And then Jamal Hill. Well, some shit happened with Ankalev and Jan.
Yeah, where it's like a tied.
Then Jamal Hill versus Glover in Brazil, I believe it was.
Yes.
And Jamal won, underdog. And then he tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
And now, so I'm pretty sure the winner of this, depending on when Jamal gets back, will versus Jamal.
Yeah, that's it. That's true.
He surrendered his belt last year.
Yeah, Pereira's coming off a victory over Jan, which was a close fight, I think. Was it a close fight? I think it was a decision. I don't know.
Pereira over Jan. I didn't watch that one, right?
I don't remember watching.
That was the Gaethje main event.
Yeah, that's the one we. Yeah,
we were at the Vancouver Canadiens.
We missed that one.
Yeah. So, yeah, no. Let's the next month, December 16, the main event officially announced. Leon Edwards is back. I was talking off camera with you.
Yeah, we're like, when is he coming back?
And I remember he had surgery, and yes, he is fighting Colby Covington. So that's official. He's fighting Colby Covington.
That's a big one.
That's a big one because Colby Covington could not beat Kamaru Usman.
But he barely lost to Usman.
Barely lost, but Edwards I want to say lucky, but got the head kick on Usman to win, and then and then had a close fight with Usman to retain.
But it was Edwards.
It was
that was an Edwards win.
Yeah, it was an Edwards win, knockout. But Usman, if it went like literally last.
No, I'm talking about like the decision, the next fight.
Oh yeah. Edwards won it, but I don't think it was like.
It was Edwards' favorite.
Clear cut Edwards.
No, I was. It would have been. I think it would have been a robbery if Usman won. Edwards was in control the whole fight.
It was like a 3-2. That's what
Edwards was in control. Like it was clear.
Yeah,
it was a clear Edwards win.
But yeah, no, I think Covington definitely has a chance to win. He's definitely the big heel in this. And then the co-main event is Alexander Pantoja, the new flyweight, versus Brandon, not Moreno.
Not Moreno, not the rematch.
Royval.
Oh, I wanted the rematch because that Pantoja Moreno fight was nuts.
Yeah, so I thought it was. And I saw Brandon. I thought it was Moreno, but it's Royval. I just read it right now. That's why I was shocked when I read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are sick next 3 cards.
Yeah.
Coming up, like I said, we have Canelo by the end of this month against Jermel Charlo.
Yeah, that's a big fight as well
30th,
there.
I believe 10 more days.
But
So
yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
But finally, the Champions League is back.
Shout out Rock.
Shout out Rock. So, big return at WWE last week.
Brigham wasn't like everywhere, man. He was on the Pat McAfee show, goes to Denver. After that, goes on SmackDown with Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
And then College Game Day with Pat McAfee.
Back with Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee, shout out to you. You're a legend. But
Yeah.
Champions League is back. And off the bat, let's just go over reactions. We'll talk about Manchester United in a second.
Yeah.
We're 5 minutes of that. But off the bat, I think we might be wrong with PSG's prediction.
Yes,
Early overreaction.
They did look good. And they handled Dortmund well. They really did. And yeah, I thought Dortmund was my lock, but overreaction, they might not be anymore.
I think PSG's a lock now.
But no, PSG is their issue is the midfield, right? They have a good defensive line, Hakimi, Marquinhos. I think they have Skriniar now, and then they have Donnarumma and that.
Yeah, Marquinhos, Skriniar, Hakimi.
Midfielders, like, I have no idea who they are. I'll be honest with you.
Ugarte, Zaire, Emery, and Vitinha. Vitinha's not bad.
Vitinha is not bad. I think Zaire,
Yeah,
Emery.
they don't really have a midfield, but their front three this
nice.
game was Mbappe, Kolo Muani, and Dembele.
It's
facing
good.
One of his former teams.
It's good.
Off the bench, Gonzalo Ramos.
It's good. It's a good attack. And yeah, no, they did well.
So yeah, midfield's a big question mark.
Also,
Attack and defense are fine.
they're doing bad in the league, right? As well.
Huh?
PSG is doing bad in the league. Like they have a couple draws. I think they have a loss too, right?
In the league?
Yeah, in League
Draw, win, loss. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. Especially in League
But they handled Dortmund, so
yeah.
that's crazy.
AC Milan.
AC Milan, let's just finish this group of death, dominated Newcastle.
But ended off with a 0-0.
Let me pull up the stats because that's how bad.
It was 20 plus shots. I was talking this to my teammate because he's an AC Milan fan. And yeah.
I'm going to say who, but I shouldn't.
I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
But
Because I thought we were having a normal conversation.
yeah. But yeah, no, he was pissed. He's like, how the hell are we not scoring, especially at home as well?
Oh, I think I know who it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He's Italian.
Yeah.
Italian background.
Yeah, I think I know who it is. But 53% to 47, AC Milan. 25 shots to 6, AC Milan. 9 on target to 1, AC Milan. 6 to 1 corner kicks. They don't show the expected goals, but I don't really care. If it doesn't go in, it doesn't go in. But
that's a good stat, especially for a 0-0 game to have.
For a 0-0 game, yeah. But
Or
I
a
don't
tie
care.
game. Or a
Otherwise,
tie
I don't
game.
really care.
Tie game to have. But yeah, no, it's clear that Newcastle are rookies in the Champions League right now. And obviously, maybe stealing a point was probably the best thing that could have happened to them right now. And we'll see if they could carry that momentum to St. James's.
Yeah.
Because, that's going to be a fun watch. I want to see UCL in St. James's Park.
Ivan Provedel. You know who that is?
Not Napoli, Lazio's goalie.
Second goalkeeper in Champions League history to score from open play. The guy scored like a striker header.
Yeah, it was a great run, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it was a Holland run.
Yeah.
Bro, but so it was Atletico 1-0 game, the whole entire game. Lazio got a corner kick.
Yes, and
It was
they
a
were
front
appealing
post.
for a handball too.
Yeah, and it got cleared back into play. They played it back to top of the box. Goalie was, outside, like, he was dropping back. Made a curved run. Perfect ball into the box. A full-on striker's goal by Lazio's goalie.
Yeah. Last time I saw a goalie score an open play was Alisson. So
And that was a corner kick, though.
yeah,
Like, that was a direct corner kick.
yeah. This was like open play.
This has some open play element to it, obviously, off a corner kick. But the attack was still alive,
Yeah.
and, what a goal. Like, what a striker goal there that was.
Yeah. Early on, Barcelona's back 5-0. Joao Felix is playing insane.
That's a good one.
And now get it. They played Antwerp. I never heard of them before. No offense.
City
But
was down.
yeah, that's the thing. I think at this point in every game they play, City's purposely down 1-0 just to see what they could do.
Like, let's
I
have
watched
fun,
that
right?
first half. I didn't watch the second half. I watched the first half, and they were dominating, obviously. And one counter, which was called offside, but then you look back at it, onside. And yeah, it was down 1-0. I'm like, let's go.
I think
but then at the same time, I'm like, City's gonna come back and win this.
I think the first goal was at the extra time of halftime, right? First half for
injury time. It
for
was
what? I don't even know.
45 plus 1.
Yeah, and then
The Julian Alvarez one.
Julian Alvarez is having a season, man. Like, I think every goal he had some sort of goal contribution.
Yeah.
2 goals today. Rodri, absolutely class. One of the best CDMs in the world. alongside probably Kimmich as well,
Yeah.
and Casemiro falling off. And yeah, bro, City, I think they're just having fun at this rate. I think the pressure's off, right? Like they don't have to win one anymore because they won one, but at the same time, they'll obviously like to win back to back. Real Madrid was today, right?
Yeah, they were early on. They played.
Jude Bellingham scored a winner in the 90th minute or something like that.
Was
It was
90th minute?
It was a late winner against Union Berlin. It was a 0-0 game.
Yeah. Oh, it was 95th minute.
Yeah.
I thought he scored earlier. I don't know.
No. It was a like they. It was
Okay, yeah.
last. It was last minute.
Yeah, but Jude Bellingham signing of the year already.
Already.
I think no questions asked. Like who else was signed doing this well, or even well? Let's just say well, not even this well, just well.
I don't know. I don't know.
Clearly, it's not Man United.
It's not Mount or Havertz.
Inter Milan, by the way, Real Sociedad tied him. That's it.
Inter Milan and the other big
Benfica
team.
early red card, but Man United. Let's close off on the Champions League there. Quick thoughts. One thing's for sure, unlike the other English squads, we did not get our ass kicked.
That is true. Yeah.
And Barcelona on top of that.
And Barcelona. Because I was really expecting that to happen.
I was expecting us to lose like 2-3-0. Easy, boring game. But again, classic Man United. 25 minutes, complete control. Should have been up early. Christian Eriksen. And
Pellistri.
Yeah, mainly Christian Eriksen.
Yeah.
And
Onana mistake happened.
not a massive mistake. Shout out to him though. Came out, talked publicly.
And he had a good second half.
And a good second half. The reason why we were close.
Yeah,
as well.
that's true.
But going back to it, and then our heads fall off mentality. This is where this season so far, even though I'm blaming the front office more than Ten Hag, I'm blaming the players more than Ten Hag because the mentality is brutal.
It is brutal, but I'm not bringing front office to this game. I cannot.
Not this game. There's more.
I'm not even bringing them in the
They're a
conversation.
factor in every game. But
Yeah, but I'm not bringing this conversation
I know.
because
I'm not gonna. We'll have our own
this
rant.
game we did it to ourselves 100%.
Yeah,
Shit VAR call happened. I think
that was not okay.
actually
You're telling me-
wait. Before that happened, Bayern got a good second goal. Lisandro Martinez let the guy open in the box. I think it was Gnabry who scored. And I think it was Martinez and Reguilon two guys were guarding one guy, leaving Gnabry open out like the cutback pass for that, and Gnabry finished it. And then Rasmus Højlund.
more
Trying to Haaland chat.
more goals than Holland in the
And
Champions
then the
League.
Champions League so far, getting his first goal for Man United. Honestly, the attack, I like the attack that we have.
Sick attack.
And there's no Anthony and Sancho, which helps massively. And
Pellistri,
Pellistri
shout
got
out.
his chance.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pellistri and shout out to Garnacho off the bench as well. But yeah, Højlund got his first goal. Good finish, striker finish. And then 1 minute later, we got a dodgy handball call.
If you're telling me that Tottenham one was not a handball, this one was not a handball either.
And
I
it was
don't care.
it was
And
a
the Man United haters, I know my cousins who might be watching this are gonna be like, they're enjoying life because
because they're shitting on us.
Man United is stuck in their heads because we ruined their life with Ferguson. And
Can we bring back Ferguson?
I know,
right?
but no, dodgy handball. I literally heard. I don't know if it was Owen Hargreaves or Darren Fletcher, one of the two.
Who was
Not
commentating?
Darren Fletcher, the commentator.
Yeah,
not the
who was
player.
commentating games?
They're commentating. I don't know which one was saying it, but they're like, that ain't a handball. I don't care what anybody says, that ain't a handball. And then it's the guys like, one of them said, oh yeah, they called it back. It's game on. But then they're like, oh wait, never mind. On my screen it said penalty check completed, but obviously it wasn't. And they're saying that it's one of those situations where in the PL they will not call it, which unfortunately the Tottenham handball
Did not
United,
happen. Yeah.
It was in the EPL. And
They called it.
this was Champions League, called it. Kane went up and scores.
And it was a game changer. That is
And
definitely.
then we came back and scored.
And no, not even that. Then it was just all Bayern
Yeah.
Munich. After all that, they were controlling.
Onana kept us in it though.
Onana did keep us in it. And honestly, I'll be honest with you. In my head, I was like, yo, we could pull this off because the counter attack is still there. And if you could just figure out this press, which they did, they made some mistakes. I think McTominay had a key chance where he slipped.
He slipped.
And after that, Casemiro scored a goal on the ground. I don't know how he did that, but he managed to do that. And
His best game so far this year.
yeah, that's true. And it made it a 3-2 game.
And then a minute
And
later.
then 1 minute later, I think it was our free kick. They cleared it. Choupo-Moting played a through ball. Lindelof cut it off. Lindelof played to Casemiro. Casemiro laid it off to Fernandes. Fernandes with the shittiest pass I've seen in my life. Right? Garnacho was wide open. If you got that through, Garnacho was gonna be in, and they could we could have had a nice counter-attacking chance. But terrible pass by Bruno, and Byron counter. I think it was their young Matthias
Tella or something.
Tell, and he crossed it in. Muller hit the post. They got the rebound.
And he scores.
Found a way to Kimmich, who played a sick ball, to Matthias Tell, and he scores 4-2.
That wasn't over though.
But it wasn't
literally
over.
The last kick of the game. Bruno, great ball in, a little too late, and Casemiro heads it in, making it 4-3. Yeah, so that was the game. Again, like this game was totally all on the players. I'm not even gonna blame.
We did.
Front office or Ten Hag.
There's a Fernand Onana mistake, Lisandro Martinez mistake for the second goal. Dodgy penalty, but I'm just taking the players' mistakes, and then the Bruno mistake for the fourth goal.
We had this. Like
we had our chance was there. Like we should have at least gotten a point out of a difficult place to get a point out of.
3 goals.
Right, 3 goals is like surprising itself. You're scoring at the Allianz.
How annoyed were you that Kim and Kane were playing that were supposed to be Man?
It sucks.
Oh, shout out Jamal Musiala.
Bro, I am so happy he is not an English player. But at the same time, I'm so mad. Because
I don't care if he's English.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying this much because him and Jude Bellingham will destroy everyone. But at the same time, I want to see him and Jude Bellingham play together.
Like I don't care about England. Like everybody knows my issue with England
is Gareth Southgate.
It's Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, but no,
more
Jamal Musiala, best player on the pitch by far, absolutely cooking everyone. And
we're not gonna get into the like I'm not gonna get into a Man United rant or anything. But like I said, I agree with you. This has nothing to do with the front office in terms of the game, but overall, still there because our depth was horrendous. We had 3 goalies.
On the bench, right? But yeah, no, the situation is shit. But like at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. You did this to yourselves.
Yeah.
And
we would have blamed the front office more if you guys just played shit from the beginning. That's it.
But no, yeah, you did this yourself. You make mistakes against this Bayern team or any team. You know, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City, Arsenal,
Antwerp.
No,
any team.
No, but I'm talking about the big teams, right? You ain't
yeah.
winning. Like you did the mistakes against Nottingham Forest. You managed to come back.
Yeah.
Right. But like I said, you make mistakes, you pay the price, and Bayern made sure you paid the price.
Yeah. 2 things of Man United before we go into Canada soccer very quickly to close out the pod. Shout out to everybody watching still. The Ten Hag comments of Davies. Now this is like 2 ways because we're Canadian. We love Davies.
Davies,
I have a Davies
boy.
shirt, and then he says that comment. I see the way he said it was wrong.
Yeah,
right.
Davies
like
is
obviously not every team, a lot of teams and a lot of players do coaches, players say shit. For example, John Herdman with the "fuck Croatia" comments. All right, it's not just a Man United thing. How and again, I'm alluding to our cousin. We need, first of all, another Man United fan in that group chat.
Yeah, we need,
and they need to start winning because. Out of everything, no one cares about the Blue Jays. They just hate the Blue Jays because the name Toronto is on it. Otherwise, they don't care, and they don't care about baseball. The Canucks, we're all Canucks fans.
Let's be honest, we're a soccer family.
Yeah, that's why. Like Toronto Raptors, not gonna care.
We're
a
soccer family. Everyone's gonna care, especially everyone being everyone's rivals.
Exactly,
teams, right? It's not like
the difference is everybody hates us because we dominated. Let's go.
We're the best.
I'm still taking that. I just want another.
This is just the aftermath.
Yeah, we just can't say shit. And I need these guys to. That's the reason why I want these guys to win. Even more.
I can still say shit. How the hell did Arsenal lose the Premier League last year? They're absolutely dreadful.
Okay, I'm talking about this year.
But
back to that thing.
Liverpool's in Europa League.
The way the contact.
Those are my 2 comebacks.
Because he had to. Jeevan had to stay quiet.
Those are my 2 comebacks.
Jeevan had to stay quiet. But
Arsenal blowing the Prem. And the Liverpool being in Europa League. Those are the only 2 things I could hold on to right now because my team is shit.
But no, I just want our team to do good this year.
That's
the reason
true.
why I want our team to do good is just so especially you because I usually just don't talk. You to talk more the shit and I'll just back you up and be that guy. But no, back to the Ten Hag thing before we got off rails here. I listened to the quote afterwards. Okay, yeah, a little bit. I see where
he worded it way too wrong.
I think he meant to say more. He's an offensive guy. I believe that personally.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you say he's not a good defender,
I don't think
if the words "he is not a good defender" came out of his mouth, so obviously like you said, take it at face value. He said Davies is not a good defender.
I don't think Davies heard it unless someone told him about it because it was literally before kickoff.
But yeah, no, like if he was trying to say Davies is more offensive guy than he is defensively, that is true. But at the end of the day, Davies' change of pace is probably the best you've ever seen. He outpaced Rashford. So that's how you know Davies is fast.
The good news is he didn't cook us. Like, he didn't cook us. Like how sometimes you hear someone talk shit and they just cook them.
Yeah.
He didn't really cook us. But, yeah, no. The comments, should not have been made. Obviously, the Man United haters, I'm not even saying our cousins in this. I'm just saying in general, are going to be like, oh, this is why this. Canada Soccer has. John Herdman has said it.
Yeah, everyone has said
and
it.
many other players in different sports.
But
have
yeah,
said it.
I mean, this is something that's just not going to be big, in my opinion. And
Yeah. Second thing, is our middle three, because I think the midfield is a bigger issue. I know you're blaming Lisandro Martinez. I'm not.
I'm not saying I'm blaming Lisandro
I'm saying the
Martinez.
cause of the breakdown there is because of our midfield.
Yeah, midfield is an issue. But I'm saying this
No.
much. He has not been the same as last year.
Okay, that's fine. We won't get into that
And
too much.
he has not been a good defender his last two games. Brighton game, he got cooked.
I just
by
want to see him
Pascal
back
Gross.
with Varane.
He
and
got
see what
cooked
happens.
by Pascal Gross. I don't even care if he's with Varane or not. That was individual one-on-one defending. You got cooked.
Okay.
Byron game, he missed his check. As simple as that.
Okay.
He left the guy open. That's
But
not what
I'm just
that
saying in
doesn't,
general.
that doesn't matter if Varane is there or not.
Just in general-
That doesn't matter about midfield. He messed up these last two games.
All right, just in general, I want to see him back with Varane because we saw what Varane and him handled. Yes, it was Wolverhampton well together with the midfield breaking down. We need Amrabat healthy. Now we're putting more pressure on him, watch him shit the bed, and we just get laughed in our face. But Casemiro going forward might be not a bad idea because that's what he
Two
just likes to
goals.
do anyways. I think our middle three should be the three guys, Amrabat, Casemiro alternating the 6 role, and Bruno.
Yeah, it has to be those
Because
three.
Eriksson can't be the 8 anymore defensively.
He's
that
not
great,
there.
Out of position, and I love the guy, but he's a depth piece for a top team now. And Mason Mount could again same thing. I know we
He's
spent.
just a rotation.
He's a rotation. Put him in the wing. I don't care. Because his
No,
pressure,
I want to see Pellistri more on the wing.
yeah, but his pressure is there. Like that's the thing. The key is can our fullbacks come up and press? Problem with their fullbacks. Shout out Sergio Reguilon. He shot many people up.
Yeah, he had a good game. He had a
One
very
of them
good
gets hurt. We literally have no.
We have no fullbacks.
Like we don't have any experienced fullback anymore because Juan Bissaka's gone for a couple of months, and Shaw's out
been
for a
out
couple
for like
months,
4 months.
and Malassia's been out for a couple of months.
Yeah.
So there's that. I need to see that midfield three. I need to see Amrabat with there. I need to see Varane back there. I'm fine with our front three.
I am fine
I would
with
love
our
to
front
see Martial and Højlund together at times.
No,
but,
it has to be a front three. The front
but
two
in general, the
doesn't work.
front three, Rashford, obviously, please pass the ball a little bit more. But Rashford, Højlund, pick your guy in the third. That's not
It's probably
Anthony.
Pellistri right now.
That's
and then-
not Anthony, according to you.
Yeah, that's not Anthony or Sancho, but right now it's Pellistri. And Garnacho off
Yeah.
the bench is looking good these last couple games. He's looking like the Garnacho from last year. And that's the only bright spot I had from the Brighton game as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, Rasmus Højlund is
We
doing
have
bits.
encouraging starts against a team like Bayern Munich. We just need to keep the mentality going the whole way.
Yeah,
through.
I
And just
wouldn't-
not do some dumb mistakes, Onana. But Onana with the ball again,
But
like, it was fun seeing him lay the ball
Realistically,
off and everything.
it comes down to, what you do against Galatasaray and
Yeah,
Copenhagen.
Galatasaray squad on paper, oh my
It's
god.
pretty good. But at the end of the day, you should handle them and you should handle Copenhagen.
Copenhagen was up 2-0 on them.
Yeah, but I think they had a red card as well.
They gave up like 2 goals in like 1 minute or something.
Yeah, like Copenhagen got a red card. But yeah, no, like genuinely, I still do believe you're a second best team, especially if even though you were out of the game against Bayern, but you still made it into a game somehow. And you put up in a little bit of a scare. But like at the end of the day, you should come out of this group.
I just want to see them healthy now. Because like we did well. 4-3 in Germany with half our team missing. Again, I think Varane and Amrabat, big misses there. We're good. Like right now, Højlund's killing it. Anthony Martial off the bench. Garnacho off the bench. I'm fine with that. Only thing with Ten Hag, sub him on a little bit earlier if you need.
Yeah,
to.
that's true. Yeah.
That's it. But okay, end of Man United there. We went
Let's
over 5
go.
minutes, but we need to
Canada
get the
soccer.
Champions League. Canada soccer, 2 things. First, the women's side. Disappointing World Cup. We all know this. Start off negative there for a second. But Olympic qualifiers. Jamaica. They're going to Jamaica on Friday. And then I think on next Tuesday, they come back to Toronto. And I think I don't know if it's legs, right? It has
It's
to
probably legs, right? Yeah, it has to be
but we
legs.
have a soccer guest. We've scheduled it. As long as everything works out, it should come out Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, around then.
And we'll talk to him about that. This is the same guest we were gonna bring on earlier.
But
We finally got the time to bring him on now.
Yeah.
Not gonna say who. You guys will find out. But and we'll talk about your Champions League and European soccer with him as well. This is a treat for you, the league, and treat for you guys who've been this far to watch. But big game. They have to qualify. Otherwise, this program
otherwise
is
it's
gone
over.
to shambles all of a sudden.
yeah,
Sophie Schmidt's officially gone, but Christine St. Clair should be there. So this could be her last ever international thing.
yeah. So let's make the Olympics, right? Still,
Probably.
you gotta defend your gold, right? You can't go in there.
Oh no,
not-
just going on top, man. Peyton did it. Manning. Just go on. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, actually, no, yeah, you can't go on top because Olympic wise, you should have went on top. But
Yeah, like
the World Cup was
Olympics
shit.
will be your last one.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm saying you gotta defend your Olympic
Yeah.
medal because if you're
now,
not,
especially with that
if you're not
World Cup showing.
yeah, if you're not qualified, you can't defend it.
Exactly.
So you gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of shit going on. I'm saying with Man United, at the end of the day, the players need to figure it out, and the players did not figure it out in the
Exactly.
World Cup. They need to figure it out against this Jamaica series.
So yeah, it's gonna be big. We'll probably come back next week with the full result. Last Canadian related thing. We didn't bring it up last time, but I think it was in between. The U17 World Cup in Indonesia.
The groups are announced.
Groups are announced, and why do we care about this? It's because Jeevan's on the at least on the roster for the training camp.
Jeevan made the training camp roster.
For now, but he was a big factor. We're shouting him. We're not saying anything to get him in trouble because we're not. We're just praising him.
Well, he was a big factor in the
Yeah,
qualifying.
he was a big factor in the qualifier.
Right.
So we believe, this is our opinion,
of what we've seen
Of what
on,
we've seen.
on the qualifiers and what the coaches we expected the coaches seen.
and we've seen guys like Alexander Ganje-Ruzic and Peter Galindo
like shout him out.
and everything.
And that, this guy's killing it. This kid is killing
and he's
it.
a regular Whitecaps FC2 starter, which we forgot to shout him out for before.
Yeah, for that. And
but
then,
so he should be. He's on right now on the training
Brazil
camp squad. The Brazil squad.
training camp. They're heading there.
And then, but in the World Cup, November 10 in Indonesia. So again,
The
we
group
have to
is
wake up
announced.
early,
Yeah.
1 a.m.
1 a.m. and 2 a.m. right?
Unless I
Around
decide to go to it.
there. I mean, you can.
But we'll see. But
yeah,
1 a.m., 4 a.m. groups are announced.
What was their group again? It was Spain.
So they're in pot 4. So on paper, they're the worst team in the group.
but the group
Spain
is Spain,
is the first game. Mali
Mali,
and Uzbekistan.
and I heard Uzbekistan has some like ballers.
Usually U17, these random countries have ballers.
Has some ballers, yeah.
But then they, I guess, go to France or somewhere.
I think
But, yeah.
I think a couple of years ago India had a good U17 team, right?
They hosted. That's also why too.
They were good.
I think they hosted, if I'm not mistaken.
But yeah, no. Shout out to you, Jeevan. Do us proud and try to make it to the knockouts.
Yeah, because you guys have never, I believe.
Yeah,
Not you guys, but like Canada Soccer.
Canada Soccer has
Shout
never.
out, Derek, obviously a big factor
Yeah,
in that. Derek also himself scored a winner in the champ qualifiers against Guadeloupe, but I don't think they've never made it out of
they
the
never made out the group.
U17 wise. I don't know about U20,
Yeah.
but U17 wise, I don't think.
And
they
then
have.
and also shout out to the rest of the squad as well.
Yeah.
Young guys going to
There's a guy from Vancouver FC apparently, young guy. I forgot.
killing it.
So we'll talk about this more with our guests. So make sure you guys watch this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, depending on how the timing goes. And yeah,
That's pretty much it.
that's pretty much it from us. Good solid hour and a half of sports talk. You guys did not leave a comment on the last question.
Bro,
so
who is your guys' favorite player, NFL?
we're sticking that question back up again.
I still don't know. I was a Julio guy. I'm a Ridley guy, and I'm on Ross A. Brown. Yours is Justin Herbert
DeAndre Hopkins.
and DeAndre Hopkins. So we would like to know who you guys'
and
favorite
Stephon
players
Gilmore
are.
on the defensive side. But yeah, that's our answer again. We need an answer below. I know this we said it at the very end, but yeah. Other than that, make sure you guys follow everything, subscribe, help us get to 200 in the next 10 days. And other than that, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.